Hello, everyone. I am Cynthia Langefeld,
And I'm Victoria Hughes.
and we are part of the Mastery Systems team. And we are with you again as we discover in another 10-minute session a very vital, important part of My Word Made Flesh. So I trust you have your book handy and ready. We'll be on page 21 today. At the top of page 21 in the right-hand corner is a QR code. What you can do with that QR code is scan it with the camera on your phone and print out as many copies as you desire. If you're holding a class, print one for everyone in the class. If you're doing your own upgrades, print several. You'll require several. I've used many. I've taken them and crumpled them and thrown them away, and my little self said no, and I let that be okay. And so, if you have your book on page 21, the most important thing to remember on page 21 is what we have in large print right across the top of the page. You are the most precious thing in the world. When we were writing the book and editing and going through, we had this buried later on somewhere in this worksheet, and immediately it came to all of us. This is first. You are the most precious thing in the world. And let it in. Let it all in. Victoria.
At the top of the page, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she too. So where we are is where we feel deeply about our precious selves and how we go forward. Now, when I start this process, step by step by step, because the 7 steps on these pages are given to us to align ourselves with source. And my source is different than your source. Cynthia's source, different. Your source is perfectly for you, your source. There are no rights and wrong here. Where we are is the discovery of learning who you are, where you are now, because we were discussing earlier, who I was in 2019 is way different than I am in 2022. And I choose to know anyone who has stayed the same.
Yes, there's lots going on around us, and there is a lot going on in me. And me remembering my source is in me. It's not something I go find or search for or whatever. My source is already in me. And my source already knows my next upgrade. And when I listen to God in me and I hear what's next on my upgrade, I move through my worksheet with grace and ease. I choose to make it fun and easy is always a wonderful, perfect decree before you start your page. I choose to make this fun and easy. And remember your fun and ease. Remember your grace and ease. And remember your answers are already in you.
Another Robert Tennyson Stevens ditty that I love is, before you have asked, God has answered. So if you think you need to go stirring around looking for something, it's already been delivered. The presence and present has already been delivered, and we get to unwrap it together.
Yes. And as you sit with your worksheet, let it be okay to feel whatever you feel. That's step
Mhm.
one in the book. Find your upgrade, find your limitation, find your upgrade, and touch it with love. Let it be okay. If you get frustrated and you rip it up and you walk away, it's okay. Print a new one. Have a new one next. Come back and sit with it again. You know, and it's
Mhm.
time. And we can all move upscale, upgrade in our consciousness by listening. And I breathe. I breathe fully by listening. And if we circle back to step one twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, it's okay.
There's a note here that's, for me, brings great joy when I talk to others about this.
Mm-hmm.
As you go through this worksheet, go through it like you are a 3-year-old. The subconscious mind works like a 3-year-old, beautifully fresh, new. I played around with some of these principles with my beautiful little grandson, and I showed him this doll. And I said, "This is who you are. This is who you are inside. And let's uncover and open up all these different levels." So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is step 7. This is the goal. This is our magnificent, glorious God self inside. This reminds me of the process with our beautiful young living oils. We start with all this stuff, all this peppermint. We're going to use peppermint because
Plant
that's what I have
material, yes,
right
all
here.
the,
All this
yes,
huge
shovelfuls.
amount of, and then we distill it and
Yes.
process and distill and we get down to this glorious, powerful particle
Yes.
that is like hundreds of thousands of pounds of peppermint. And
Yes.
that's how we are distilled within
Mm.
ourselves as we uncover layer after layer after layer to get to step 1. We're having fun.
Yes. Yes.
We're a 3-year-old child. We are enjoying this experience. And if we're not enjoying it, we have permission to take the charge off of it. Cynthia is an expert at taking the charge.
I
Can
circle
you,
back to step one often.
can you share with how important step 1 is and how powerful step 1 is in our lives?
I have had so many experiences with step one, with me personally, with family members, and different things like that. Just, I can sit in me and take the charge off. There is nothing I have to convince anybody of about me or them or a situation or anything happening. I sit in me and let it be okay. Let it be okay equals take the charge off. If there's something that I feel compulsion about doing or being or having or convincing you of, I've added a charge to whatever my words are carrying. And now, to receive my words, you have to receive my charge. When I take the charge off, I let it be okay in me. My sovereignty recognizes your sovereignty and your ability to hear, feel, do, say, be sovereign in you. And to do that for you, I do it in me first. And I let it be okay. If I'm in step one or step two or even step five, and I feel that anything that just comes up, I have to sit with it and let it be okay. I circle back to step one and take the charge off. Anything in me that has upset the apple cart of my 3-year-old requires taking the charge off and picking up my 3-year-old self in my imagination and giving her a big hug and stroking her hair and whispering in her ear, honey, it's okay. This is not who you are, it's where you are.
I love what you said, compulsive, compulsive. Yes. Listen to that word, come. Feel your pulse, feel your heartbeat. Come in. Can you imagine being held and feeling the heartbeat of someone who loves you perfectly?
Yes, that's and now I have grace bumps. Thank you.
That's taking the charge off of it. Come. Yes. As a man or woman is in their heart, so are ye. Feel the pulse, your heartbeat, and return home.
Yes, I agree fully. So we invite you to enjoy pages 21, 22, and 23. They are your heartbeat.
And I have a closing piece.
Yes, please.
RTS I love, and I come back to it. So I've enlarged it this big so I can see it in a profound way. This is RTS, Robert Tennyson Stevens speaking here. I have found that every problem has the solution inside it. Look for the solution. Your soul, your light, your concentrated light has the solution and the glorious joy held within us. It's an upgrade.
Yes. And remember, you are the most precious thing in the world. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again on our next session of My Word Made Flesh.
Hi, everybody.
Bye-bye.